Next, let's see one extra exercises here. Given two matrix A and B, then the first question asks you to find AB. So straight away, let's take matrix A, then multiply it with matrix B. So this is the answer. So you can see that this answer here is actually 10i. Okay, because when you take out 10, this is the answer. So this is equal to 10i. Since we got our right hand side is equal to I, we know that this is something regarding your inverse matrix, because we have the formula of A times A inverse equal to I. So now we have AB equal to 10i. We can rearrange. We can take this 10 here to be on our left hand side. So it becomes 1 over 10 AB equal to I. So we can see that this is something regarding to your inverse matrix. Then let's see question B. They ask you, hence, determine the value of inverse matrix. Since you have the word hence here, we cannot use any other method to find inverse. We need to use this formula here. Okay, so as what I have shown just now, 1 over 10 AB is equal to I. So in order to find A inverse, let us just compare with whatever is given here. So A is here. So any terms multiplied to your A is actually A inverse. So let us see. This whole thing here is A inverse. So your A inverse is equal to 1 over 10B. Another way to do it is you can just write whatever we have just now. AB is equal to 10i. So in order to find inverse, just multiply A inverse on your left hand side. So A inverse times A is I times B is B. So what happened here is 10 A inverse times I. Therefore, let's find A inverse here. A inverse is equal to 1 over 10 B. So this is the same as what we have done just now. And then do not stop there. Just write back 1 over 10 and then take matrix B here and then just multiply 1 over 10 inside. So this is the answer of A inverse. The next question asks us, use your answer in part B to solve the following systems of equation. So this is the question here. So let's write this in terms of your... So this is the question here. Let's write this question in terms of matrix. So this is it. This is the coefficient times xyz equal to minus 4, 1, 10. So we can see this is actually matrix A. And then this is, let's name it as X. And then this one, let's name it as C. Okay, usually we will name our right hand side with B. However, B is already given in the question, so we need to use other variable. So now let's rewrite here as AX equal to C. So in order to solve for X, we need to do something to get rid of this A. So the only way to get rid of this A is to multiply A inverse. So let's multiply inverse to our left hand side. So A inverse times A, this is just I. So I times X is just X. So X is equal to A inverse C. We already got the value of A inverse just now. Put it here. And then let's put matrix C here. So let's multiply here, both of them. And then let's put in 1 over 10 inside. Therefore, this is your answer for X. X is equal to 7, 6, 14. Now let us look at other examples of inverse. So this question is a bit different. You are given a matrix P and you need to find matrix A such that P inverse AP is equal to this matrix here. So let's check P inverse AP and then let's name this matrix here as B. So let's rewrite P inverse AP equal to B. So in order to solve for A as what the question wants, we need to get rid of P inverse first. So let's multiply P on our left hand side. P times P inverse is I. And then PB, just write it back. So I times AP is just AP. And then write back PB. Next, in order to find this A here, our next agenda is to get rid of this P. So let's multiply this with P inverse on our right hand side. So now P times P inverse is equal to I. And then for this part here, just write it back. And then finally, A times I is just equal to A. So A is equal to P, B, P inverse. So we already have P from our question. We already have B also from our question. So the one missing is just P inverse. So in order to solve for this equation here, we need to find P inverse first. There are no condition to find P inverse, so let's just use ERO as what we usually do. So how to do ERO? Let's write this as P and our right hand side as I. So let's do ERO. First step, make this 1. Then use this 1 to make this 0 and this 0. Okay, so next make this 1 and use this 1 to make this 0 and this 0. And finally make this 1, use this 1 to make this 0 and this 0. So now we have finished doing ERO to find P inverse. So this is now I. So whatever you have on your right hand side, straight away this is P inverse. So now let us take the equation just now and then put in P from the question, B from the question, and P inverse from what we have found just now. And then multiply them up, and then finally you will get answer A. So this is your final answer. Now let's see question 2. You are given matrix A, matrix B, and matrix C. So first one, the question asks you to find AB. So just take matrix A and then put matrix B and multiply each other. So now you find this version here. Again, you need to be careful, and we need to associate this with inverse, because now we have AB equal to 2I. You can just bring 2 to the other side, and then you will get half AB is equal to I. So we know that this is associated with inverse property. So now let's see question B. Hence, find P squared such that AP is equal to CA. So now let's write AP is equal to CA. So in order to find P squared, first of all, we need to find P. So this is our P. In order to find P, we need to get rid of this A here. So the only way to get rid of matrix A is just multiply A inverse to your left-hand side. So A inverse times A is I. And then just rewrite back A inverse CA. And then IP is just equal to P. So P is equal to A inverse CA. Let's rewrite A inverse. We already know the value of A inverse. From here, let's find what is A inverse. So since A, we already have it here, therefore you can read the value of A inverse. A inverse is equal to 1 over 2B. So rewrite A inverse here, 1 over 2B, and then rewrite back CA. This is the equation of finding P. So now let's find matrix P. It is half B, C times A. Multiply all of this together. And then finally, you want to find P squared. So let's take P, multiply another P. Therefore, the result is P squared. So this is your answer. Let's see question 3. This is the last one. If P is given like this, and then you are given P cubed equal to P squared plus 6P plus I, the question says deduce P inverse. Okay, we need to deduce P inverse equal to P squared minus P minus 6I. So let's do this. From the equation given, P cubed equal to P squared plus 6P plus I. So in order to find P inverse, let us just multiply P inverse on our left hand side. And then we can open up, this is P inverse times P squared, because P cubed stands for P times P squared. And then let's expand this. This is P inverse P plus 6 P inverse P plus P inverse times I. So let's open up. This is I times P squared. This is I times P. This is I. This is P inverse. So finally, we can see P inverse here. And then let's rearrange. P inverse is equal to P squared minus P minus 6I. Now we have deduced P inverse. Hence, the question asks you to find P inverse, so we need to use whatever we have in question number 1. So let's open up. P inverse equal to P squared, so take P, multiply another P, minus P, so just take P, minus 6I, so it is 666, all entries are 0. So just do the calculation, and finally we'll get the answer here. So that's all for this chapter. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.